Time for Sports on the Pause, and Gary Osmond joins me. Gary, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yes, so I've been waiting for quarterfinals. It's here today. A lot to expect. Tonight's match, not really the big one, but
it may surprise us.
You sure?
By giving us some good football.
Poland scraped their way through, same as Portugal.
They may just come to life now.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I hope so. But take it away with the analysis this afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Francis, and thank you for joining us on the Sports on Pulse. Hi, I'm Gary Alsmith, and the Euros are getting to the business, and the quarterfinals are here. There'll be one match each day for the next 4 days as we get ready for the big finale. Today, there's Poland and there's Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo versus Robert Lewandowski. Now, the narrative is that hopefully those two big players who are seen as stars before the tournament will bring their A game. And Portugal tonight, what are your predictions? Let us know on social media. However, let's do some analysis of the other games that are coming momentarily. Wales versus Belgium. There's also Germany versus Italy and France versus Iceland. Interesting games, intriguing. We can now go to France to speak to Philippe Auclair, who writes for France Football and also for the BBC World Service. Thank you for joining us, Philippe.
Thank you.
Right. First of all, let me ask what the feeling is like getting to the quarterfinals. I listened to you on the BBC podcast, and you were giving some analysis about the fact that Germany versus Italy could be one of the trickier ties.
Yeah, I should think so. I mean, I'm puzzled, like probably you are, all of you, watching these games and not really quite knowing how good or how bad these teams are. And I think the most intriguing ones is bound to be that game between Germany and Italy. I mean, Italy has really impressed everybody, I think, by not because of the talent they've got at their disposal. It's probably one of the weakest Italian squads which has traveled to a major competition for a generation or two generations. But they're remarkably well organized. They've got a magnificent defense. I mean, the Juventus 3. They've got a player in Graziano Pelle up front who can blow hot and cold. I mean, we see him with Southampton.
Wales versus Belgium. I mean, everybody's talking about Gareth Bale, and really, he is a difference maker. We understand that. But a lot of people have also noted that Wales seem to be more of a team than Belgium.
Far more. I mean, there's absolutely no comparison. You get the feeling when you saw Belgium play better against Hungary, for example, that it was some of the senior players who decided, okay, we're going to do it our way. A little bit like what happened to France in 2006 when they were absolutely rubbish, to use the expression, in the group phase, and suddenly the big guys decided, okay, we're going to do our thing. And you get the feeling that people like Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne in particular have decided we want to do something. And in the case of Wales, that's not the case at all. It's a very cohesive, coherent team with a superstar, Gareth Bale, but also some extremely good players. You know, Joe Allen, I think, is one of the
points, don't they?
Yes. Well, you've got a Welsh team which obviously is completely together in this particular project, and a Belgian team which is still divided alongside cultural differences.
Yeah.
It's not just the Walloons, the French speakers, and the Flems, but also there are ethnic Welsh. In terms of the public, though, you have to think of the game is being played in Lille.
Yeah.
So basically, for our Belgian friends, it's going to be just a quick hop across the border. So we should have, I think, about half and half in terms of support.
Yeah. I was going to point that out, that the game between Belgium and Wales is going to be played in Lille, which is just across the border from, Belgium. So it's going to be like a home game for them. They played 4 times.
Yes.
And I was reading the history as well. Let's come to your home nation, France. It's one of the last games, but France versus Iceland suddenly has become something that was an afterthought to one of the most intriguing encounters. And I can imagine that the French coach Didier Deschamps will now be having serious headaches, and maybe he would have preferred to have England, who is a known enemy.
Well, he's on a hiding to nothing, isn't he? Because you cannot not win against Iceland in front of your own public. A country of 300,000 inhabitants, the size of Leicester, a tenth of which has traveled to France, apart from the French, will be rooting for the Vikings on this particular occasion.
Well, a small point there. I was told by an Icelandic friend that the original Vikings do not include Iceland. It's actually Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. And that when you are talking about the Vikings, it doesn't include the Icelandic people. But finally, what is the French public saying? I mean, after Iceland qualified, what have the papers been saying? You are a reporter for France Football. Has the public mentality been that, look, these are a good team, but no way we lose to them? Give us a sense.
Well, there is no way France should lose to Iceland, just that there is no way England should have lost to Iceland. Yeah. Again, I said, I compared this team to Leicester. And in fact, I would think that the Leicester team, which won the Premier League, would probably beat this Icelandic team 9 times out of 10. Yeah. But we are in a different situation. We're in some kind of FA Cup situation. It's a one-off. Yeah. And you've got to think of how the occasion will get to the players. In the case of England, I think it was the occasion which got to the players, but and more than the game itself. That what we saw happening. France has got the means to actually have a fairly big victory over Iceland. It's just a question of being able to focus for once and to find more balance. But Gary, I wouldn't say that even a qualification for the semi-finals, I will still be wondering how good this French team is. I have no idea. The players are bloody good. Apologies for language. The players are very good, sorry. But I don't know how good the team is.
Right. That's a good question as well. So let's look at the whole games holistically again. I mean, Poland, Portugal, sort of out of the way because it's so impending. But that Germany-Italy game again, that's the one we haven't focused on. Germany seem to have had a problem that the Italians have had for some time now. Now, for a while, Germany have had their own pressure. So you saw that from 2006, 2008, 2012, there was so much pressure on them until it felt like they let go in 2014. They were easier to deal with, and then they won the World Cup. Do you think that the Italians may now start feeling the pressure when they play?
Yes, I do think so. I'm still very, very disappointed for the Italians that Daniele De Rossi is not going to be around, and the midfield is not going to be quite as performant as it was in the previous games. This said, it's not just the organization of Conte's team, which I found absolutely admirable. It's also their willingness to put the ball forward very, very quickly. We say in first intention in French, en première intention. So as soon as you receive the ball, Germany, my heart says Italy.
Well, you're not French, so I don't know why you are saying that. Now let's come to your home nation, France versus Iceland.
I love them. I've always loved them. Gary, in 1982, you were a very little boy. I don't know if you were born.
No, I wasn't born. Sorry.
Exactly, you weren't born. But there was a game between Brazil and Italy. All my friends, I mean, we were very young at the time, were supporting Brazil. I was supporting Italy. That tells you something. But the last game, I think it has to be France. If it isn't France, never call me back. Because honestly,
Okay. All right. Philippe, thank you very much for your time. Always a pleasure having you. And we'll catch you up later in the tournament.
We'll catch up later.
À tout à l'heure.
À tout à l'heure. Bye-bye.
Bye. So that's Philippe Auclair. He speaks usually on the BBC World Service, but writes for France Football. You can get his opinions across some of the most respected publications in the world. And we are grateful for his time. I'm Gary Al Smith. Have a great time with the quarterfinals of the Euros. You can get all the games, live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM, all 7 p.m. kickoffs. You can't miss it. Later.